It's strange, isn't it? How like medications and body ailments come into conversation, and you go, nah, let's talk about something else. Of course,
Yeah.
the hard thing that I have also when you're trying, it's sometimes it's about, what are you watching? You know,
Right.
right? Um,
Or it's about sports 90% of the time, which is like
yeah. Well,
over my
that's an
head.
odd thing that you were talking about ESPN Plus. How did you have ESPN Plus attached to your stuff?
So when my sister first came down here,
Yeah,
there was an OSU Michigan game, and
gotcha.
she really wanted to watch it, and we didn't have any idea where to see it at. So I got ESPN Plus, only to find out it's one of the worst apps to try to figure out how to find an actual game to watch. So we never got to watch the game, and ever since then, that was back in January. I've been trying to cancel this account,
Oh my gosh.
and I can't get it canceled. So I'm going to go through my credit card and do it the hard way.
Son of a gun, right? If there's anybody that's watching from ESPN that happens to be watching this and you feel led to reimburse Doug for his time, please do. Right?
Please.
It would be super helpful, you know? Um, I get it. Well, I wish you the best, buddy, in terms of trying to, isn't it one of those things? It's so hard. It's like when obviously this is some stuff I think that I've been feeling and talking with a little bit before we started this conversation, but um, it's interesting how we get our mind focused on the thing that we want. It feels like the more that we focus on something, I'm not saying that this is necessarily the case with you, Doug, but you know, when we really try focusing so hard on something, it's like I really want this. And I feel like we get in our own way. It's almost like we kind of, but I want this. I want this, Lord. I want to have this interaction, or I want to have this fun. And it's like I have it with rest and recreation, or when you're going on a vacation or something, like going, well, I want to make sure that I relax, I want to make sure that I
Yeah.
relax and that I have fun. And it just happens to be that time period when, a major crisis or something will blow up or something will happen. Well, I did have a turn. I will tell you, I did have a turning point with this, and I will come back to it. I won't get into the specifics to keep the names and identities of people neutral and unknown. We did have a scenario once where we're going for a vacation, and a major family blow up happened. Right, like it was the only time frame that we had to be able to do this. We showed up, and a major altercation happened, like the first day that we arrived. And it was like, got it. And like I was ready to go, literally said, yeah, let's go. Everybody get in the car, we're going. It's almost like I went, but we didn't. But I did have a moment, and I think it was, and I really do. I'm trying to think. It wasn't around the time that I was getting sober, but I feel like there was a shift that was going on for me. But there was enough stuff that happened for me where I was able to firmly, firmly and safely for myself detach and to be able to go, okay, I'm going to claim little spaces for myself so that I can try to make the most of what's a really bad scenario. What's a really bad scenario? Now, I was able to do that. And actually, it's probably a good thing that I'm vocalizing that, because I need to remember to lovingly do that in other scenarios where I'm trying to push forward. I mean, Doug and I were just talking before we started this conversation, and I get so hyper focused on certain things I'm trying to work on, and I know what the results are that I want to see. But I think I get in my own way. I just get so jammed up, and I feel like God's just telling me, like, yeah, I need you to relax. It's not like I won't provide the wins or evidence of success in those areas happening, you have to relax, right? Like you got it'd be like being a kid, like trying to learn how to ride a bike, and I'm just so hyper focused on all the mechanics of it, and I'm getting in my own way. And eventually, at some point, you just have to get it in your body, you know? You just have to get it in your body and just sort of like let go. Like, I mean, it's literally that, almost let go and let God. It's hard when, you know, there's also a feeling of, because we are designed to be in fellowship and relationship, and and having conversation, and I can understand how that can be a little bit more challenging, where you just go, gosh, I just want to have a meal with somebody tonight.
Yeah.
Or I just want to be able to call somebody up that I know is, just a couple of miles away. Hey, can you get a cup of coffee?
Right.
Instead of waiting for somebody to come down from Ohio or from wherever. So I don't know. Any additional thoughts on that for you?
No, I mean, fortunately, I've got Matt. We've become good friends, but he also got 3 kids. And so his availability for one-on-one is non-existent, because in the evening time, he needs to be home with his wife and kids.
Yep.
And I get that.
Yep.
I tried to get to know my neighbor and ask him, like, hey, let's go out to dinner. And he was fine. Then he canceled on me. And then I haven't heard from him since. I thought, oh, good. I got a next door neighbor. He's about in his late 40s, and he lives right next door, and he's single, and he works at the university. He works in IT. I work with IT people all the time. Great. And it's like, this has been a theme in my life. When I try to do things, it falls flat. So I end up waiting for someone else to make the initiation. Like, if I were to throw a party back in Columbus, I might have 3 people out of 20 I invited to actually show up. But if they have a party, everyone shows up. And it's just been that way my entire life.
Mhm.
And I like, I don't get it.
Hmm.
I don't get it.
Just really, I mean, this dovetails with some of the stuff that I was talking about too, where I just feel like that what I was talking to Doug about before is there are times when I am working on outreach materials, or I've put together some stuff, and I put, energy, effort, focus, skill, attention on it. And then it just goes out, and you just feel like, yeah, nobody's interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just feels like crickets. And then you just go, huh, huh. And then, to your point, for other people, it just feels like, wow, that sure is easy, right? I mean, somebody can fall, somebody pulls a Kramer and falls backwards into it, and just kind
Yeah.
of get, like you could literally have somebody just say, oh yeah, I just thought of this last minute. Let's just all get together. Next thing you know, there's 100 people over at their house. Like, going,
Right.
how do you do that? Right? How
Yeah.
do you do that? I suppose in this, I mean, I think in both of those scenarios, at least the thing that I keep running into with this is, I feel like God is continually just saying, yeah, but I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm here. Yeah, but you know, I'm all you need. Right? Which, you know, again, mentally, I was having this conversation with Kate earlier today. It's like, yeah, Lord, mentally, I get that. Mentally, I get that. But, you know, physically, I also feel a lot of frustration because I'm not getting the thing that I'm not getting the thing that I feel like a need or that I'm desiring. And I don't know. Of course, I think about that too. And I think, I was just reading some, I've been reading some of the Gospel of Mark, and I think about those times that happen where, Jesus is trying to explain stuff to the apostles continually. And these are the guys that log time with him all the time. Like these are the people that he chose to be with him so that he could unload all this stuff and get it. And several times throughout the Gospels, he's just, why don't you get this? Why aren't you getting this? Right? That's like, it's the Son of God that's saying that. Like, I'm like, please, please, why aren't you getting this? So I wish there was an easier answer on that, but there isn't.
Yeah.
So
I haven't figured it out yet, and I'm 58.
no, I get it. I get it. Right. And I guess the big thing is about just, I don't know what the simple answer is, if it's about like, all right, Lord, is this about like showing up and continuing to try? Or are you asking me to like do something completely different? Or are you asking me to just like let go and let you provide whatever these moments are?
Right.
Are you allowing me? Are you asking me, Lord, if I'm in Doug's boots to go, all right, then I'm asking you, if I'm the one that can't put these things together, then Lord, please, I'm asking you to invite me into situations where I can be around other people, because I obviously, whatever's going on with me, I obviously can't make it happen, or at least apparently can't make it happen. you know Help me where I'm getting this wrong or jamming it up. Yeah. um yeah, buddy, just trying to think what else is on top of mine. I did not this week. I didn't prepare any journal stuff that was on my mind. You know, I just thought people can go back. They can look at the stuff that we've done from last week. We'll get stuff rolling here in the next couple of episodes to start unpacking stuff. Though there are a few. There's been a couple of books I've been looking at, kind of go, because I do think like I feel like an overarching theme that we have on this is, I mentioned this last time, is about pain and pushing through those things that that are inevitable, right? I mean, it's not just a podcast that's going to be about like suffering, because obviously you have to be able to like recognize when you're in a good season too, and
Right.
realize like, oh, hey, I am actually out of the storm for now. I am out of the storm for now. And let me just like sit and embrace and enjoy this and recognize this for what it is, recognizing that another storm's going to come, but you don't always have to just wallow in it. But I do feel like an overarching theme that we're able to provide on this show is, okay, navigating through some messy stuff, and it comes. Because I'd had a little bit of that had just popped up for me this morning. I mean, I literally, not a fantastic night. Some challenges that have been happening with Duncan's had some, anxiety issues that have been popping up over the last several days. And I think that there's something that happens, especially when I'm trying to focus on work and to get stuff done. I think that he kind of senses that. And again, for some reason, it really like amps up his attention and focus, where he's just like, dad, like really wants the attention at the same time. So it can kind of stretch me a little bit thin. And then had some other things that kind of came up this last few days, which were really kind of triggers for me. Yeah, just had a moment today where I just kind of woke up and just said, yeah, I don't want to do anything. Like, I don't want to pray. I think I'll start out my day with just a bowl of cereal. I normally try to do some version of a fast, you know, and boy, didn't open up scripture, didn't pray, didn't do any of that stuff. And, just kind of recognizing it for what it was, of just like feeling like, yeah, I'm just in the muck here. I mean, just in the muck and the mire. And I think that that's also part of the prayer. Part of the prayer is just going, hey, Lord, I don't feel like praying to you today. I think part of it's also just about being repentant in the middle of it, just going, yeah, I'm sorry. I know that you are my creator. I know that you are Lord of all. Um, and I don't even feel like talking to you, or inviting you into this. Um, but you just kind of keep moving forward and just kind of keep showing up. And part of this is also about just me talking about it. I think it's part of why I'm talking about it on here, or I, reached out to two other guys that, I'm in accountability things with, to just kind of let them know, like, hey, I don't need to solve on this right now, but this is just what I'm feeling, you know, I'm feeling this at the moment. And I think part of it too is when you start to vocalize it, you kind of start putting two and two together and going, oh yeah, that's right. I'm on the end of several weeks in a row of dealing with some other junk here. Um, and it kind of puts it all in perspective. But yeah, that's just sort of where I'm at. Just sort of where I'm at today. You know, it's not all puppy dogs and ponies and rainbows. So
I haven't
you
seen a puppy dog in a while.
get yourself a puppy dog, or at least take a look at a puppy dog. Right?
Temptation's there. I just don't know that right now is a good time.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's a lot. That's a lot. Um, well, we don't have to make it too much longer than that. Anything else that you on your heart, or anything else that you might want to share with the listeners this week?
I think I shared something in my Instagram, my personal one, last week. And it was just about sometimes social media, we put our best foot forward and everyone's portraying this life. And the reason I set up my Instagram account was to walk people through my journey of cancer. And I keep doing it for encouragement purposes. But I also want to remind people that, look, life's not all, even though I come across positive and encouraging each time, I do have my downtime. I do have times in my life where I'm just discouraged or want to just say, God, just take me now. I don't want to go through what I will be going through, or just feeling frustrated with life. And so many people on social media never show that side of themselves. And so I always wanted to make sure people understood that in the midst of the positivity, there's reality. And it's like you said, sometimes you come out of the storm, but sometimes you go through small squalls, small storms that hit you out of left field. And you don't feel like getting out of them. It feels comfortable being in them. You just kind of sit there and wallow in it for a minute. But the trick is to recognize it for what it is and move forward.
Yeah.
Some people are happiest when they're miserable.
Well, I think that there's something there that you're sharing, which is, I think that there's a purpose to intelligently sharing the frustration, intelligently sharing the pain, the depression, any of that, and the transparency with that. So it's intelligent transparency. It's intelligent transparency to go, hey, this isn't perfect, and I'm trying to figure this out, right? There's
Right.
a guy that I follow, Naval, I forget what his Ravikant, Naval Ravikant, but I love what he says, which is everyone's making it up. Everybody's trying to figure this out. Nobody has this locked in and perfect and has the perfect solve on it. We're all trying to figure this out as we go. And I guess I wanted to counter sort of what you said, which is, and the reason why I want to say intelligent sharing is because you also get the other side of it, where you get people where it's either everything's perfect, right?
Right.
It feels like their life is something out of a magazine shoot, right?
Which is a lie.
Which is a lie. or you get the other side of it, which is the, for lack of a better word, it is the unintelligent oversharing.
Right.
It is the unintelligent oversharing where it is all just emotionally based, spraying, this is how I'm feeling, right? And I've seen it a lot. I see it a lot with usually girls that are usually in their early 20s that I've seen from the circles of people that I've worked in the entertainment business. And then all of a sudden I'll just be frank here, and this is not to make light of it, especially in the circumstances that you've talked about. But you get a lot of people that will post these things, they're almost sympathy grabbers, which is just like, I'm just feeling so at the lowest point of my life right now. I just want it all to be over, right? Like that type of stuff where you go, like, are you legitimately saying that you're going to hurt yourself? Or are you doing this because you know that the minute that you say that, you're going to propagate the comments with, we're here for you, girl, all the, and that's not to make light of it, right? But then there's kind of, I'm sorry, man, but it's the low intelligence overshare where it's almost like what it'd be like? It'd be like somebody grabbing a hammer, smashing it, and like literally typing out the first things that were on their mind is, oh man, this,
Yeah. Click like and follow for more.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
By the way, smash that like button, everybody, and subscribe if you like the conversation.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference, right? Is to be able to slow down away, which is a gift and a blessing of what you're doing on these shows and on your Instagram or on your social media accounts, to be able to slow down for a moment to go, hey, just hold on a second. I'm also feeling this and going through this, right? And in that sort of sharing and that intelligent sharing of it is someone else that can look at that and go, oh gosh, I have felt exactly that same way, or at least give somebody an intelligent way that they can able to pray for you or to support you.
Right.
So I think that's good. Look at that, man. We did get some gold out of this. Awesome. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. For those of you that are watching, if you're just joining us for the first time, you can always go to I'dRatherBeABuffalo.com, and some of the stuff that we talk about here, you can explore through your writing. One of the things that we talk about, writing is healing. And if you need a practice of writing, you can always go over and you can get our 1-month Buffalo journal that's there, where you can practice your actual writing to heal. The topic of that 1-month Buffalo journal is finding your purpose. And it's a precursor to a year-long journal that we have off to our publishers right now. But go to I'dRatherBeABuffalo.com and sign up for it. We'll send you a free PDF. So thanks. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Always good conversation.
We will see you in the next video, folks. Thanks.